Hi, everyone. Right into the surveys that we had this week. The one of the basis of your power. Mine particularly ranked higher on things like being a good example or having the respect of people as an informal leader. And just relying on my skills and abilities of the positions that I'm in, less about it being about punishment for things or evaluating those people that I would be over, and just having a say over raises and bonuses and things like that. So current job situations, those would be my strengths and weaknesses or bases of power. Politically makes sense as well. Unfortunately, I have been in situations and jobs that had a lot of power and politics involved in certain ways, healthy and unhealthy. I think that the one that was most true for me probably is just the finding good traits in people. I really like to sandwich something that's even controversial with something that I see positive in people and continually try and invest in them as a person, and that could prevail in a work environment, not just about what we do, but who we are. Anyway, but to the scenario that we had this week about becoming a president of a corporation above the VP, I think that would be a tough spot to be in. However, I have been in situations where people wanted what I was doing. And so the emotion, while the scenario isn't the same, the emotion of having to decide what you're going to do about that relationally is one I was familiar with. I think the first thing, I had a couple of different thoughts when I was thinking about these. I think the first thing that I would do is I would need to solidify why I was hired. What skill set, after you've been in a position, there's a lot of different doubts and complexities that come with actually taking on the job. And I would just want to rehearse in my own mind why I am qualified for the job and have a confidence in who I am and how I was hired and what my strengths are. And just being able to know where my expert power came from. And then once I knew that, I think that I would try and figure out some scenarios where those in other departments or even their employees could see those strengths and really play to them so that I could get some of that reverent power from other people and have less division, even though there is someone being divisive or trying to gain their own side of power. I would also, we talked about in the book or in the chapter this week about how the idea of where there's ambiguity of goals, that's where there's a lot of conflict starts breeding. And so I think I would kind of softly suggest our standards and our policies and our goals and those kinds of things to where it gave the impression that I was chosen not because of any kind of politics, but because of the qualifications that we all support, especially so that particular VP would keep reinforcing the idea that we hire and we promote based on some clear goals, and that just subconsciously maybe even that my hiring of that position over them was founded. And then I would even go maybe into talking about the company goals and what we're all about and what we're striving for, what the vision is beyond you or me, where are we going, make it something that people actually can see themselves venturing forward in, that it isn't what has been, but it is what we're doing together and going forward. I also think that I would start, because if I was in the presidential position to be able to have any other new networking or structure, I would start bringing in the VPs, and that person in particular being one of them, and discussing what they need out of their department, listening and hearing what their struggles. There's a reason he wanted to be promoted or she wanted to be promoted. Yes, probably pay and status and all that, yes, but there might be some really big significant things in their department that they were frustrated with, that maybe if I start speaking to, that could help with the conflict brewing in there. And if all of those things, I think that there would be a time where I really would want to have a one-on-one and see what negotiating things we could start talking about. What do we both want out of the company? Why is it better for you to stay as a VP on the sales department because I really value what you bring to it than for you to find a different position someplace else? How can I make this a job that you don't want to leave? And making and maybe even doing things like, instead of having a yearly review, have monthly check-ins to where I get immediate feedback, to where we really feel like even though the positions have changed, the partnership in the company can still be where we're both invested in what needs to happen as we move forward. So those were just some of my thoughts. I think that the list of interrogative bargaining that I hate that was the term of the different things you go through in a negotiation, what you both want out of things. I would dive deeper into those and really have a conversation. I think even if it came to that you still lost them, that you did everything, that I did everything that I could to make it a place that they were still hitting some goals if it wasn't the status goal that they were first seeking. Anyway, those are some of my thoughts. I'd love to hear you guys' creativity through these scenarios as well. So see you. Bye.